So, what if I told you that every day, every moment of every day, all the time, the messages you receive during childhood are still the primary motivators of your behavior? My name is Callie Wellborn, and I'm an Enneagram guide. And the Enneagram is all about the motivation behind our behavior. And childhood messages have a lot to do with that motivation and the strategies that we continue to employ that show up as our everyday behavior. So, a great place to start is with some essential truths, which are truths that are true for all humans all the time, whether we believe them or not, whether we feel these truths are true or not, they just are. They are essentially true. And so, as I speak each of these 9 truths out loud, I invite you to breathe them in and let them flow through you. Just notice how does your body physically react to what you're hearing? What emotions arise for you? What thoughts come to mind whenever you hear these truths? Try not to get stuck or stay on any of those thoughts or feelings or physical sensations. Just notice them and then you can release them. So, I hope that you receive the truth that you are safe and you are good and your presence matters. You are loved for who you are, not for what you do or accomplish. You are wanted. And your needs are not a problem. You are seen and known and understood. And you will never be betrayed. Your needs will be provided for. Do you believe these to be true? Do they ring true in your body, in your heart, in your mind? Are some harder to receive than others, or even harder to even just hear? That may be because you didn't receive one or more of these messages when you were a child. Essential truths are actually directly connected to our lost childhood messages. Those messages we should have received in childhood, but we didn't, either because they weren't given to us or they weren't given to us in a way that we could receive them. So, you or people you know and love may have never received the message that you are safe. So, since childhood and now into adulthood, your behavior is primarily motivated by seeking safety and security. And you believe the best way to be safe and secure is to constantly scan the horizon for impending danger and to use all your time and effort and energy to prepare for those things that could happen, but most often they don't. Maybe you never received the message that you are good. So, since childhood, you've subconsciously believed that you are inherently flawed and corrupt and even evil. And if this is not you, I promise this is a lost childhood message for many other people in your life. So, when you believe that you're simply no good, you're motivated to seek integrity and to prove your enoughness. And it seems as a kid that the best way to do that is to use all of your time and your effort and your energy to do everything as perfectly as possible. And then we take that right into adulthood. Maybe you never received the message that your presence matters. So since you were a kid, you actually believe that it doesn't. And that your miraculous existence, even now as an adult, isn't significant enough for people to notice if you're there or if you're not. So you forget yourself and you embrace this path of least resistance to avoid conflict. So you never have to find out if the people you love really would be fine without being in relationship with you or not. Even to this day, do you believe that to receive love, you have to constantly be productive and achieve greatness? Literally achieve greatness? If you've believed that since you were a child, then you're motivated by being deemed valuable. And the strategy to receive that external applause that has worked best since you were a kid has been to succeed, to be a success based on the definition of success by the people that are most important to you as a child. And then that expands to be seen as a success by whoever is in front of you at any time, by whatever their definition of success is. Do you believe that you are wanted? Many children did not receive this message. So they believe that they're not just unlovable, but unworthy of being loved. And if you feel unwanted, you're motivated to be wanted and loved. And if you truly believe that you aren't worthy of love, then it seems that the best strategy is to create and present an image that others will deem worthy and lovable and desired. When you were a child, did you get the message that your needs were, in fact, a problem? Then child logic tells you, well, then just don't need anything, right? Then your needs won't be a problem. You won't be a problem. And this travels with you into adulthood, as does your strategy to just not have any needs. And so you think and prepare and take care of all your own needs so you don't have to rely on anyone else or burden them with your problems. Have you always felt like no one could ever know you or understand you, or that no one even really cares to? Maybe you didn't receive the childhood message that you are seen and known and understood. So, what motivates you is to search for an identity that can be recognized so that others can deeply know you. And as a child, and even now, it seems the best way to be seen and recognized as your own self is to be as different and unique from everyone else as possible. Do you believe that the universe, capital U, that all of humanity, all of life is designed to betray you? Have you always believed this? Then it makes sense that you would be motivated to protect yourself with every bit of immense energy that you have. And the best defense is a good offense. So you believe that you can best protect yourself by avoiding being controlled by others. Do you believe that your needs will be provided for, even if you are not the one doing the providing? If not, then since you were a kid and even now, you're motivated to avoid being deprived of what you need, mostly by providing it for yourself. And also, the best way to avoid being deprived is to indulge in it all. If you provide opportunity for too many experiences and too many plans and too many options, then it seems that it makes sense that it would be impossible to be deprived. All of these strategies make a whole lot of sense when we create them as children. And these intelligent survival strategies work for us for a really long time. But the older we get, the more and more effort it requires to maintain them. And even with all that effort, they ultimately lose their efficacy. And they have this adverse effect of their initial intention. It blocks us from what we desire most. And the thing is that we're all doing it. All of our behavior is motivated, to some extent, by these false, often unexplored beliefs. And we all create these childlike survival strategies that we continue to employ now in adulthood. And we all go about it differently, but we're all doing the same thing, which I find strangely connective and warming. So I hope this cultivates some compassion for you, for yourself, and also for the people in your life, that we're all just trying to get by in the best ways that we know how when we don't choose to consciously explore the reason that we do it that way in the first place. The good news is, so we're not stuck. We're not stuck in any of those patterns or behaviors. The Enneagram helps us, one, become aware of these subconscious messages and motivations. And then also, like a map, it shows us how we can disrupt these default patterns and live with more ease and balance and freedom, even to like show up looking like a kid when you're talking about childhood messages. So, friends, you are free. You are free to choose how you want to show up for yourself, in relationships, at work, really in every area of your life. And this is just a very brief glimpse into the unexplored depths that can free you to emerge beyond the surface and thrive as your authentic self. So, if you want to experience how deeper exploration into what all this means for you in your one wild and precious life, then I've created a free contemplative practice to guide you through some additional exploration of your lost childhood messages and your unconscious childhood messages. This QR code also has all of my contact information, so please reach out or simply comment childhood on any of my Instagram posts at Undercurrent Enneagram, and this contemplative childhood messages practice will be sent to you directly. Engage with it, explore, see what that experience opens up for you. Then reach out to me directly so we can journey together toward greater wholeness and transformation and freedom.